All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Ben's Brick Designs. Happy Sunday. Happy 5th of November. Remember the 5th of November. So, big catch up from last weekend where we're all doing Halloween stuff. And we had Bab and I had kind of a fun, nothing kind of to do, relaxing, chill stream on Thursday. A couple people were out having to do work and whatnot. So, but I'm back at it doing some building. Today is we're going to do the building for the new gift with purchase Dreamzzz or Galileo set, and then I got a handful of Dream sets to kind of push the cost up to get the gift with purchase because I also pre-ordered the plants, the mini plants. So let's get on with this. I haven't even opened the box yet. Also don't have a box cutter anymore, so that's awesome. Relying on my razor blades to get this done. So let's do this. And this camera has been kind of borking out a little bit. So if it freezes in the middle of the stream, I'm going to have to re-add it. So I apologize for that. I don't know what's going on. Computer's been newly rebooted. I added the camera once today already, so I don't know what's going on anymore. So here we go. Here's your typical box of paper. And then in here we've got, I get a VIP Christmas stuff, which has got some great pieces in it, like a pie and a turkey. Big old star, some candy, bag of candy, some snowflakes, some of these gold ornament stuff. So it's not a bad set. Ooh, some of these red snot bricks. That's pretty cool. And then it's got a thing of instructions in there, so we'll see what comes out of that. So these are the two. Let's get everything out of here so we can take a look. To my giant stack of boxes over here. We got our project support in, so I've just got a ton of boxes over here. So first and foremost, Lego Ideas Galileo set. Good morning, Missy. How are you? Thanks for coming by. 300 pieces, so this may take an hour and a half, maybe an hour. And then just for filling out the Dream stuff, I got Mrs. Castillo's turtle van, and the Grim Keeper the Cage monster. So a couple Dreamzzz sets. So we'll play with those in a little bit. So yeah, the micro or the mini, the small plants. I said micro mini. The small plants are on order, pre-ordered. I did not pre-order the Dune Ornithopter because I think I want to get that like day of and see if I can work in a stream like after that. So tribute to Galileo Galilei. As you know, he did a lot of scientific stuff that got him banned by the church or imprisoned because he was heretical in saying that the earth was not the center of the universe. So we've got the instructions up here, which is, I think, great. So here's the designer. Jessica Kaye. Don't know how to say that. Her Lego Ideas name is Firecracker _. So it's very cool that they were able to... Oh, you know what? This does not have a barcode to scan. Gift with purchases do not have scannable. Oh, I wonder if that does. That's a box thing. That's like to help build. I bet that's not. I bet these don't come with them. It'd be interesting if they didn't. So ideas sets don't come with a QR code that you can scan to register because it's not something you can buy. So this comes with stickers. Guess what? I think these are going to be stickers that I'm going to put on because this is going to go on display with my my Women of NASA and my NASA stuff over there, since it's very integral to how we view science. So let's get started. Piranha plant. Probably going to do a piranha plant. Not going to do the museum. I don't do modulars, as cool as the museum is. I'm not going to start down that path because I could conceivably, I mean, the modulars would fit so well in these shelving units that I could just do nothing but modulars. I'd be trading up Star Wars for modulars. And modulars can be very expensive. So how's everyone doing? How's your weekend been? I know it's post-Halloween, so we probably didn't do a whole lot of Halloween stuff. It's Day of the Dead. It was Dia de los Muertos. And it was also, today's the 5th of November. Guy Fawkes Day, which I don't think is really official. It's more for, I don't know who really it's for. People who think that the government's terrible and capitalism sucks, which it does. I say as I'm putting together a lot of pieces of stuff here. So, all right. Some interesting pieces here. Got a couple light blue splats / gears. These are all going to be the same size, which means stuff is going to move. I think we're going to have some stuff moving in here. I think the planets rotate and stuff. Oh, you're streaming with Ficken Bricks. Neat. Huh, that's cool. All right. That's something that I have yet to have happen. I think Butt Chop asked me one time to stream with him. That was it. Mayo, I think, once. Or I had Mayo on my channel. Fun. Went to a baby shower yesterday in San Antonio. Honestly, this sounds less fun, but sometimes baby showers can be fun. Ooh, right off the bat. Setting the bases. So, I'm sure you're all aware of Bricklink being down. I haven't heard anything new this morning, but it's still down. That's some scary stuff. And it really put kind of, I mean, I don't want to get on them for ruining my weekend, but I will say this weekend was going to be going through and ordering all the parts that I needed, or starting the process of getting the parts for all my Horizon sets. Now I still can. I can go through the IO files. I can go through the studio files and just go through their parts list, because you can do model. You go up to the model, and then it has all the information. It's got a parts list. And the problem is then I can't copy what I already have to a new parts list, right? So there's a way to do it. It just takes more work. I think you can export, instead of uploading to Bricklink, I think you can export to like a CSV file or something like that. But yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm hoping everything shakes out. I know they technically aren't a Lego company, but they're in an agreement with Lego. So maybe they'll be able to get some resources from the larger company to help them with this. But that might also mean a change in like the platform, which I'm not looking forward to that. I think we all love Bricklink the way it is. And if anything changed, I think we'd all be pretty sad. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's It's an older page. Like Johnny said, it's probably got old code on it that's not secure. Which is weird because it's a transactional, it's a e-commerce site. You think it'd be a little more secure than that, but I would think it'd be as secure as like Etsy or something. I was fine all morning. Till just now. Fick and Bricks lately has been doing some funny memes on his channel about Lego fans. It's a little gatekeepy, but it's kind of funny. I've been enjoying them. He's an interesting dude. Very high energy. Darth Designer put out a new thing today. Very exciting. A new giant C5. It's not even giant. It's about yay big. Maybe a little bigger. C5 cargo plane. It's good to see some of his stuff. So go check out that video. He goes into... it's like an 8-minute video. And he goes into the design process and some of the fun bits that he put in it, and it's really cool. It's good to see some work from him. I haven't seen a whole lot from him lately. He's been busy. Synthetic Mason, Brick It Up. He bricked it up with if you're a fan of Transformers Armada, I think. He's done an Optimus Prime from Transformers Armada. I think it's Armada. Or Transformers Animated or something like that. It's one of the newer Transformers cartoons. And it looks really good. It's only about that big, but it looks great for its transformability and the pieces involved. He does really good at small scale. So go check that out if you haven't. So if you're getting this just for pieces, this has got a lot of good 2x2s modified tiles, 2x2 regular tiles, 2x2 corner tiles, some brackets. Got a lot of these. So these 1x4 in dark gray. So we'll see what this shows up as. So stuff going around the house today. Friday, I got my latest COVID vaccine and a flu shot, and I got my Shingrix. I got my old person shingles shot. So I got COVID and flu in one side and Shingrix in the other arm. And yesterday felt a little crap, like a little achy and tired, but that was about it. I also pushed a little too hard and took, while I was feeling bad, I went and took down all my Halloween decorations. So by the time I was done with that, I'm like, you know what? I'm done. Couldn't walk and move around really well the rest of the afternoon. So I ended up finishing Spider-Man. Yeah, not dead yet. So finished Spider-Man. It wasn't as long as I thought it'd be, but it felt a little longer than it should be. But those Spider-Man games are interesting because they've got so much else going on other than the main story. You've got all these little side missions to do. So even when you're done with the main mission, it'll say you're 70% done. And you're like, what? Because you've got all these side missions all over New York to do. Anything from like following drones to helping out this one science group help with their bee population and e-cycle research. And then if you can play either Peter or Miles. And you can go find Miles' uncle, who is the Prowler. You can go find his old stash of stuff, of tech that helps you out. And then there's parts that line up with the story. So if you're going to play it, I don't want to really ruin it. But, you know, there's different places to find caches of things. You can take photos around the city. And then there isn't fast travel isn't as easy to unlock. You have to complete a whole area to be able to fast travel to it. But it's like once you've completed that area, there's no real reason to go back to it. Right? So there's no reason to fast travel there. But there's a new mechanic in this game where you get spider wings, right? You get the webs underneath your arms and you can glide places. And there's wind tunnels throughout the city where you can kind of ride the wind tunnels. So while the fast travel isn't great, you can get to places a little quicker with your glide ability. So it was fun. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll just land on this, because, you know, most of the time you're swinging around above everybody. I'll land on the sidewalk and I'll just wander around the city. I'll just kind of run. And occasionally you run into people who want to take your picture or give you a high five or whatever. So that's fun. There was in the previous game, not Spider-Man Miles Morales, but Spider-Man 1, there was a thing where if you greeted enough people, there was a trophy you could get for that. And there was also, every time you finished a major story point, there was a newspaper standing. You could get a newspaper and read the headline, and the cover was you fighting whatever guy it was. And you got a trophy for that. This one I don't think has that, because I've wandered around the city and I really haven't seen anything other than rando people wanting to give me high fives and stuff. But it's still a fun game. The guy who does the voice acting for Spider-Man had to have gone to the Sean Schemmel School of Scream Acting, because he sounds like Goku half the time, just screaming and shouting, and I'm like, your throat must be so hilarious. Yeah, that's the problem I run into with this game is there's, like the first game, there's missions where you have to kind of follow a thing, right? And this one's a little easier because you can glide and you can just like control it like you're flying. The previous game, you had to like swing through the rings and stuff and like do the thing where you kind of shoot a web ahead of you and pull on it and you kind of launch yourself forward, and you had to get within these rings, and I hated those missions. I'm like, nope, I'm not even going to do those. Anything where you accidentally fall out of the side of this ring and you lose all your time and the mission's over, I'm like, I'd rather get my butt kicked by a monster than have to do those things. And there's a few of those types of things in this, so. And I'm not real happy about it, because you're going like breakneck speed through the city and you're following a drone, and the drone goes like that. And you have to figure out how to turn, and you end up just smashing into a building and falling because you're just doing this on your controller. Because you're like, I forget which button does the web, and you know, so you end up like your camera goes everywhere and you're just shooting webs, and the drone ends up getting away and you got to start over, and you're like, ugh. So frustrating. So frustrating, first world problem. But it's a very nice, the one thing I wish this game had was more, everything's in the daylight, right? When you're swinging around, the fights sometimes shift to be at night, but you don't get to swing around at night too much. It's always like in the middle of the day. I wish they would have more varied weather and daytime, nighttime kind of thing. Maybe you'd be able to control it after the game's done, but it got kind of, I'm just like, yep, it's the middle of the day and there's the Chrysler building. The voice acting's really good. The facial animation's very good. Good job on the supporting cast from everybody. A buddy of mine who used to live in Austin, named Chris Coquinos, worked on the game. He did sound design for one of the missions. He got lead sound on one of the missions. So I'm watching the credits afterwards, and I see his name pop up, and I'm like, I know that guy. I was very proud of him. He worked for Rooster Teeth and stuff like that, and he's a good dude. On top of everything else, he's also a very nice person. All right, bag 2. Yeah, you'd think that the first game was great. Like, it had rain and snow and day and night, and afterwards you could set the environment to be like sunset, raining, cloudy. This one doesn't have that. I think they worked on expanding the boroughs over to Queens and Astoria and Brooklyn and the Bronx. What? I don't know what that means, but okay. Did I say something weird? That's a weird thing to say. Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, that's, yeah. Way out of context. Sorry. I'm just like, what? Was not following along. Yeah, there's this kind of weird, not incestuous, but nepotistic, like who you know kind of thing group that worked at like Rooster Teeth and King's Isle, all these like gaming companies here in Austin, and a lot of people know each other from that. And then found a bunch of other people from the Ren Fair, and so they all became friends. And so I know a lot of them, but I got to them later when they'd already like not worked there anymore or had moved on. But it's fun to... What else did he do? He did sound for God of War. I didn't see his name in the credits, but he said he was in it, so... They're constantly the narrator that. Okay. I only saw a handful of Blue versus Red, Rooster Teeth, Ruby, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know a ton about it. What is this music? I don't like this song. Let's do some chill jazz. So who pre-ordered the small plants or ornithopter? Did anybody here do that? The 2 people in the chat? Yeah, I remember watching like I think the first couple seasons, and then I was like, I think I got it. I don't think it's like watching Shorzy or Letterkenny, where you're like, well, Shorzy's different. It's only on its 2nd season, but Letterkenny, I'm like, after like 3 or 4 seasons, I'm like, I get the idea, and the jokes aren't changing. Oh man, look at that. 4x4 dark orange tile. I want a million of these. What's up, Lego Man? How are things? We're talking about Red Blue, talking about Rooster Teeth, talking about pre-orders. You're not going to get it? Okay. Cool. I think they're all going to go great with the succulents, so I'm just going to get them. Do I still have the succulents somewhere? Yeah. I'm looking to kind of take down some of the stuff up there, so I might fill that in. Excuse me. You are. How's it going? Thanks for coming by. We're doing Galileo. Galilei. The the gift with peaches. Am I saying the name right? Do you guys follow Tom Cardy? The Australian guy who does like shorts and TikTok videos, parody music. I think I'm gonna grab something to eat real quick. All right, we'll see you back in a bit. The dude with a mustache and everything's like from the one camera angle, and it's him jumping kind of all over the place and playing different roles during the songs. It's really funny stuff. You should definitely check it out. I think I did this wrong. Yep, for sure did that wrong. He's got a song out that's it's called Almost Quite Not Quite Yet Nearly Christmas Time. It's pretty funny. I had to send it to my oldest because they love November 1st at like 2 in the morning. They sent something to the whole family saying Merry Christmas. It's hilarious. They get their sense of humor from me, and I love it. I don't think their moms love it, but I do. I appreciate it. In the streets of New York City, one man stands alone. Serpico. Ooh, I thought this would have a sticker on it. This big old panel. Got a lot of these. So look for these on Pick-a-Brick if they aren't being removed. Yeah, so I was fully expecting this whole weekend, because I had nothing else to do. I had no plans. I'd specifically not made plans so I could go get my shots and like chill and not do anything all weekend. That was the plan. And I was like, this would be great. This would be a great time to go through all my Horizon machines and start parting them out and getting the pieces and getting what I need to order off Bricklink, right? The sooner I can start doing that, because that's going to take a while. I got like 20 machines to do. Some of them are repeats, some of them, and I don't expect that I'm going to be able to order all the parts at once. It's going to be a lot. I also don't expect that I'm going to be able to go through every machine like this weekend and get figure out what parts I need. But I was like, I'll give it a start. We'll get a few machines done. And like Friday night, it was like, oh yeah, Bricklink's down. Might be down for a while. Turns out there's a major issue. I'm like, oh man. So it was fine. I ended up doing housework and stuff like that. Playing some video games. Not too shabby. Oh, I got a thing. I want to bring this up with our lug, but I got a thing. I want to ask you guys about it. There's one person on our lug in here. I got a thing from our LAN, but it wasn't an official LAN thing. It was from one of the ambassadors. It's an ambassador from Israel Lug, and they're doing a toy drive basically for children displaced in the conflict. And so they sent emails out to people, to different ambassadors. And we're like, here's a link if you want to be part of that, and let your lugs know. And I'm like, oh. So I'm like, I didn't want to get into it with them, but at the same time, I'm like, somebody's going to complain that, well, why aren't we doing it for Palestinian children too? So I'm like, I haven't even, like, I didn't respond. I didn't forward it, but I'm kind of like, I don't know that this would end well. I think people might be upset about this. Yes, it's for kids, and I get it. It has nothing to do with the conflict itself. We're not supporting a side, anything like that. It's just kind of like, it just felt not tone deaf, but I don't know. Hard to describe. So I haven't decided what to do with it yet. I mean, I can just say, because it was an official land thing, I have no responsibility for it. This is just one person saying, hey, we're going to do this. And it's like, good, I don't have to follow up on that. But it's also a community thing, so I don't know. Haven't seen one of these pieces in a while, especially in tan. I don't think I've ever seen them in tan. Oh. Yeah, I mean, I can just ignore it. That's the beauty of it, is I can just be like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna ignore this. But at the same time, I don't want them not to succeed, and I get it. It's for the kids, but is supporting the kids of one cause, gonna be different than supporting the kids of another cause? I'm just kind of like, but I could also say, here's this. I wanted to pass it along. I'm not endorsing it either way. You all do what you feel is right or fits with your personal views. I'm just passing it along and see what they. Yeah, that was the thing. It was like, if it wasn't a specific country, I'd have been like, all right. But because it was Israel lug, it's like, well, I hate that I gotta put a sticker on this. And the sticker's like weirdly, like, it got bent in the, so this is gonna be difficult. Not too bad. Was it leaning back then? Was the Tower of Pisa leaning in Galileo's time? Asking for a friend? So it attaches in the back. And then these things bump into those panels. So that's pretty cool. All right, last bag. Kind of thought this would be quick. Where are the cell bars? Well, there's some. Yeah. The next set to come out is him in jail. All right. Probably the most un-Galileo-ish. I would have imagined him more in robes. We got an extra beard piece. So we got two of these rubbery beard pieces. It's only got one head, and he's very upset because the people around him are idiots. He's like, I know this is going to end poorly for me. I always thought it was funny. It's like, if you know you're going to cover his head, his mouth, why even print a mouth? I guess for use later. So there's your Galileo. And it's going to bother me that his head's slightly twisted. So Galileo Galilei. Nothing really to him. Dude with a shirt. This was okay building, whatever. This is gonna be the fun part because it's got doodads and desk icon items and stuff. Genius Tchotchkes. Name of my new band, Genius Tchotchkes. It's a Presidents of the United States of America tribute band. Well, I think there's other things he gets immortalized in, but you're right. He will now be immortalized because these things will never die. They will never go away. At most, they'll be in a container ship that capsizes and thousands of him will be washed up on the shores of Portugal somewhere. If you're looking for a good way to do books, this is a good way to do books. Just a bunch of those tiles with the jumper centerpiece, like so. And then a chalice. Probably get one more thing in there, but all right, so that's probably why that did that. Snap. Where is that country where all the Lego washes up on shore? Is it Portugal? Thought it was something like that. Maybe somewhere in England? You know what? Is it Portugal or Spain has a maker space, but for Lego? It's one of these things where you can kind of, it's great for the lug in that it's great for a lug in that you can like store your own stuff there and then go back and build anytime you want. So it's like a maker space. It's got a little drawer that's like partially open there. It's pretty cute. And because he's a genius, we have to make fun of he just has stuff all over the place. Just laying about. Because, you know, all us geniuses just are cluttered. Don't have many of these. Got a lot of light gray in this, but not brown. So that's good to know that brown is a part. Oh man, when I die, people are going to be like, that genius. Look at that dude. No, they won't. They'll be saying, how did that guy get as far as he did? Holy crap, what an idiot. He must have known somebody. He must have slept with somebody. Good use of the building like ornamentation pieces for legs here. Would almost have rather him face the front more, so you could see more of the detail in the table, but still not bad. Last of the stickers. It's like this is the moon. It's the hair. So I went into get my shots the other day at Walgreens, and first of all, I have a lot of complaints about the whole process. But I walk in, and I think the kid who was working there may have been a little autistic, but he was with another person, and oh, it's one of these pieces, man. Where is it? Uh-oh. Do I not have it in here? I think this is meant to be white because, yeah, it looks from that angle, it looks like it's black. The instructions make this look black, but it's not. It's white because up here it says it's white, and then they go down here. It's just so outlined, maybe that it looks black. So I walk in, and the dude's like, as soon as I walk in there, usually they say, hey, welcome in. And I walk in, and the dude just goes, whoa, Guy Fieri. And I was like, hey, what's up? I was like, that's not what I was going for, but I'll take it. He's like, nah, it's really good. Are you going to eat something while you're here? And I'm like, oh God, okay, here we go. I was like, no, just get a prescription. He's like, hey, if you're a Walgreens member, you get cash back on that. And I'm like, what is happening? Like, he was really enthused. I was like, okay, cool, thanks. And like, nobody told him to be quiet or anything. They just was like, yep, that's, you know. So the problem is I had to go back several times because Walgreens doesn't know what the hell they're doing. I made an appointment. At no point in the appointment process online did they say, make sure to bring your COVID card. And I wasn't sure if we still needed those, right? So I was like, all right. So I also, here's your spinny thing. Here's your orrery. Here's a little model there. So I got there, and the lady's like, do you have your COVID card? And I was like, no, they didn't say online whether I need it or not, so I didn't bring it. Like, do you have a photo of it? I was like, no. I was like, I have one at home, but I didn't, you know, I didn't think, because this isn't really a booster, it's just another new shot, that I would need it. And they're like, yeah, they won't let us give it to you unless you have it. I was like, oh, all right. So I was like, well, I live like 3 minutes away. Let me run home and get it. So I run home. I leave. That cashier's up at the front. He's like, bye. Like, really into it. Bye. Like, yeah, bye. And then coming back, he's like, hey, welcome back. And he was very excited. I was like, okay, yeah. Just dreading it 100%. So I get my, you know, I show the lady, and all she does is goes, okay, and here's your stuff, and you're ready to go to your appointment. I was like, okay. So, oh, this needs 2? It does. So I get my shots, and I'm leaving, and I forget that I still have the card, and so I go back in, and I say, hey, do I need to get this? Do I need to get you guys to write down on the card, telescope, that I got mine today? And then the lady goes, oh, they don't do that anymore. So they won't let you get the shot unless you have the card, but once you get the shot, they don't care about it anymore. I'm like, what sense does that make? I'm guessing this is that. Nice silver, the Technic toe ball, but in like metallic silver. Man, I was so bent out of shape. So I was like, well, what happens next year when I come get this? And they say, oh yeah, here's your card. Where's your card? And I show them and they go, I'm sorry, this is too old. Like, okay, well now what, you know? So I wrote it in myself and I misspelled Pfizer. I felt pretty bad about that. All right, so we're done here. Not even an hour. Here's your gift with purchase, Galileo set. If you wanted to, you could finish off the tops here with some tiles. Maybe put a tile over that. I don't know why there's an extra thing here. Maybe so you can put him like that instead of in his chair. And again, it moves the orrery. So there you go. Take you about an hour to build, if that. You get some extra quill brushes. These are going to be great when I'm making some Horizon natives, and maybe the beard too. I need all kinds of heads with face paint and shoulders with feathers, and what are those things called? The waist. The clone troopers have them. Stormtroopers have them. They get put on the waist. They're these little skirts, but they're like armor skirts. They're not katanas. They're like katas. I think they're called katas. I need those. If I can get mohawks, that'd be cool. So I need like, I don't know how many of these extra figures I want to get. Maybe 10 to put in the diorama. Some fighting machines. Some just kind of hanging out. Anyway, there's that. It's cool. It's got a bookshelf. It's got a sticker. Got a telescope. Got that globe piece there. Wish it would focus in on a little bit. It's weird that it won't. It takes up the whole camera, but it's not focusing. A little sad that that's not a printed tile. That's a sticker. So I don't think because of all the stickers, this is going to be that expensive once it hits the market. Like, none of these pieces are that wild. That's probably the most wild. This tile back here, this 4x4 dark orange is probably one of the more expensive pieces. Maybe the globe, but that's it. So there you go. So he'll go up with the women of NASA. I really hope they do more science figures like this, like Curie and Turing and stuff like that. I think that'd be great. All right. So let's put him with our space stuff for now. Space. So you guys get a pick. Turtle Van, or Grimkeeper Cage Monster. Which would you rather work on at the moment? I feel like because I did this one digitally, I want to do this one second, but I'm not super thrilled about either set. Only because I think we get the same character in both. We get a new character here, but we get a character here and a different character here. Cage Monster works for me. I think we might be able to get it done in the next hour or two. I think either of these we might. Put this guy over here. Cage Monster. So this is set 71455. It's 274 pieces. I think this was $25 or $30. I think $25. Which one will you build? So this is, again, which one of these little ships do you think you want to do when it comes down to it? And we'll get the instructions. Let's see if the instructions are in here. Ooh, let's check Bricklink. I like how the even the site icon is gone. Like usually it'll store an icon file. That's even gone. That's crazy. 71455. Okay, or don't. I mean, it's up to you, really. I don't really want to search. So weird. Nope. Just the set, please. Instructions. Version 3.9. I don't know why I know that version 3.9 is the US version. Somebody said. So here's some more great artwork for the Dreamzzz sets, and we'll see when we open this up. Do any of you watch the show, the Dreamzzz show, on, I guess it's Lego's YouTube channel? I don't, and I'm just wondering if it's worth watching. I know it's very kid-friendly and whatnot, but I don't know if it's... See, because this is really fun. This doesn't look like a Lego set. The artwork doesn't look like a Lego set. It's like artistic interpretation of Lego. So there's some good artwork in there. I think I've kept some of this. So it's got, like it used to with some of the sets, has a little bit like a comic in it. And the comic is the reason you're building this kind of to start. So you know, if veterans want to watch these episodes, I'm okay with that. Veterans Day's coming up. Let's give them their due. All veterans can watch all the Lego series. All right, so what is this dude's name? This dude's name is... Does he have a name? It doesn't say who the names are on this. But I know they all have names. Especially the main kid. The brown-haired kid. Maybe you should watch the show and it'll tell me. All right, most of your Sunday is ahead of you. What are y'all doing today? So what's your plans? You doing any Lego shopping, any sorting, family obligations, housework? It's a really great hairpiece here. So there's our one dude with a really fun hairpiece. This would be a great tree. I like when people do the hair pieces as trees, so that would be a pretty good one. It's a little on the buttery side, so kind of weird plant color, but still. He says, huh? What's happening? There's a cage. And this guy goes, I'm going to get you. Uh-oh. So, there's I haven't got the tickets yet, but there's a concert coming up next year, and why the tickets are on sale this far in advance probably is so they can gauge interest or actually pay for the event. But I get this call from my friend Cheryl, and she's like, dude. I'm like, what? She's like, I think the universe is trying to tell us something, and I think it's telling us that we're old. I'm like, why is that? And she goes, next year at CODA, which is the big racetrack out here in Austin, they do a lot of concerts. New Kids on the Block, Paula Abdul, and DJ Jazzy Jeff. I'm like, what? And I knew what she was talking about. I saw the thing, and I was like, yeah, that's crazy. Apparently, New Kids on the Block's released a new song, a new album. Are you gonna try to go to the Lego store later today? Hey, message me on Discord. Are you on Discord? If they've got a lot of plants, I want to see. I want to maybe get some plants. So yeah, for like $40 for the lawn seats, you could go see DJ Jazzy Jeff, because you know it's 1995 all over again. So the funny thing is, I never listened to any of those bands. Like I think I was a fan of. It's weird. Like I had this weird taste in music where I didn't want to like. I didn't want to be the person who liked kind of pop, hip hop music, right? Like Paula Abdul. Definitely was never really into boy bands. New Kids on the Block, 98 Degrees, NSYNC, any of that. I did, however, have a Milli Vanilli cassette, and I would like work on my dance routines to Milli Vanilli. And then I was actually a little mad when it was released. It was found out that they were lip syncing and they were like being kind of manipulated as a band and all that stuff. Like I was really bent out of shape, but at the same time, like, well, I guess just stop listening to them. So I was, I had this eclectic music taste in high school. It was like INXS, Howard Jones, Huey Lewis and the News, Genesis, but like stuff my parents would listen to, like ABBA and Willie Nelson and Kenny Rogers and Linda Ronstadt and stuff like that. Like it was just kind of all over the place, but definitely new wave music. Some Depeche Mode. Jesus Jones was a big one for me, which nobody knows. Like I think I'm the only Jesus Jones fan in the whole U.S. But I would constantly gravitate back towards some pop music because you could dance to it, and every time you go to a school dance, it was fun dancing to that. So that was my big thing. Erasure was another. Zissou, hi. Only some Depeche Mode. Yeah, I never got into Depeche Mode as much as I think I should have. Like I dabbled in a lot of different music. Like some Metallica, some Megadeth, the Cars. I was really into the Cars. Had some Beatles albums. Like it was just kind of all over the place. So then I got into college and it switched to all industrial all the time. Like the only thing I was listening to at that point was like, well, not industrial, but like industrial and punk. So all I was listening to was like Green Day, Rancid, Nine Inch Nails, KMFDM, band called Dink, and then also ska. I got into some ska. All that is to say, I see a concert like this, and Duran Duran. I've listened to. I don't think I ever bought a Depeche Mode or a Duran Duran album, but I had some singles like the cassettes and the 45s. And I didn't not listen to them when they were on the radio, and I would only really listen to stations that would play their music, right? So a lot of Michael Jackson albums, had quite a few Weird Al albums. Like I think I had a Boyz II Men album, I had an En Vogue album. Anyway, so when I see the concert, I applaud you. I love ska, man. One of my favorite bands right now is the Interrupters. There's a great thing where it's all the different music things, and it's emo. I'm pissed, and everything's terrible, and punk is I'm pissed, let's take down the government, and metal is I'm pissed, let's summon a demon or something like that, and ska is I'm pissed, but I have these trumpets kind of thing. I think it's great. Yeah, I'm a huge ska fan. I was a ska fan with like Let's Go Bowling and Dance Hall Crashers and Madness. I don't think I ever listened to a whole lot of Mustard Plug or Less Than Jake, although they're good. Just never got an album of theirs or anything. So I love me some ska, man. Yeah, Beth and I saw Weird Al a few years ago on one of his, this is, no, really, this is my last tours. So all this is to say, when New Kids on the Block, Paula Abdul, and DJ Jazzy Jeff say they're going to have a concert, we all go, OMG, we should go to this. Can you imagine? Blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, you know what? It sounds fun, but I didn't like them a whole lot when they were out. Why would I go to this show? You know, other than everyone's like, well, it's nostalgia. And I'm like, yeah, but nostalgia for what? I really wasn't into that. Oh, this is cool. Like, one of the best concerts I ever saw was OMD, Depeche Mode, and Howard Jones. That was amazing. It was 3 bands, and well, Depeche Mode had the most people. It had like 4 people. Howard Jones was by himself, and OMD's 2 people. So it felt funny because it's like you go to this show, but it's like, you know, the band consists of 7 people total across 3 bands. And don't even bring up what Beth listened to in college. We're talking about the DJ Jazzy Jeff, Paul Abdul, New Kids on the Block concert. Oh my God, it's gonna be so good. Do you really want to go to that? I'll get tickets. I do. Okay, so I think she was more into it than I was. I was just talking about how it sounds. That was in college for me. I'm younger than you. No, I know. That was high school for you. Middle school. New Kids on the Block was elementary school. Oh my God, you're such a baby. Paul Abdul. So, because we were talking about how it's all great and nostalgic and everything, and then I was like, I never really listened to that when they were first out. Why do I have nostalgia for it? Because opposites attract 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. You were listening to who? Paul Oakenfold. And who else? John Digweed. They were DJs. John Digweed? Yeah, they were trance DJs. So I think Beth and I bonded over Flogging Molly. Yeah, that was right after college or right at the end of college. So our musical tastes converge in like bluegrass and punk. Like we both like bluegrass and punk a little bit, and Flogging Molly just seemed to be a great synergy of that. So much so that we've gone to a couple Flogging Molly shows, and yeah, and then when we were at the same show, and didn't know it till years later we were at the same show, and then I think we're gonna try to do the Telluride Bluegrass Festival up in Colorado sometime. I got to see Chicago. Chicago. Oh my God. I had so much. Now that I think about it, I had so much Chicago music. I at least had 2 or 3 like LPs. I had a cassette of the best of Chicago 87. I think there was a specific best of 87 that I played the crap out of. Holy crap. I played that so much. Just sitting in my room singing along because I thought, you know, it was such the romantic thing to sing along to Chicago. There's a great commercial where like, it was from decades ago. There's all these old guys. I think they're old black guys, maybe just old guys, but they're like in a club, and like this one guy shows up in the club and he's talking about wanting to woo women, or he's learning from the masters of who's slick, and you know, these guys are all very cool and they know how to hook up with women, but they're all these old like dudes who are just very fly and everything. The only thing I remember is one guy going and listen to Peter Cetera, and he goes, but I don't like Peter Cetera. He goes, the women like Peter Cetera, which means you like Peter Cetera. And I'm like, yep. Enter the Haggis. Hey, Beth, we need to look up a band called Enter the Haggis. Yeah. Yeah. What's the one you like? Skinny Lister? Haggis is Scottish. You like Skinny Lister? They're UK. There's another one we saw open for Flogging Molly, Skinny Lister, and a friend of ours really likes them, and now Beth's really into them. And then who was the other one? Anti-Flag. They're yeah, and I feel like Anti-Flag is like the punk American Menudo, where it's like it's been around forever and you can just age out of it. Fratellis too. If the Fratellis ever came to the U.S., I would sell favorite Lego to be able to go to their show, but they're never gonna come here. They just no they do, but it's always like New York and L.A. They never come into the middle of the state. Like I would think they would at least come to Dallas, but I haven't even seen them hit the U.S. in a long time. I really wish they would, but maybe when we go to the UK, we can see if they're touring. I love me some Fratellis. The guy that okay, the guy that plays the bagpipes in Enter the Haggis plays them like an electric guitar. That's amazing. That was another. So I went through sort of a musical change when I hit college because I was fancy on this girl, and she was very much into punk and industrial and stuff, and so that's what I started listening to, and it changed my world. But then I still would go back and listen to like Phil Collins and Huey Lewis and stuff. So just broad spectrum. Oh, hey, Beth. I saw a TikTok with Boys to Men. Boys to Men. Yep. They don't look very old. I don't know how they're doing it. But they still had like the frat boy sweaters with the baseball hats on and everything. It was pretty cool. I think it was a new video. I don't think it was old. Okay, enjoy. If you are gagging, please keep it quiet. I've got viewers. Yeah, like this, you're gonna go mute. Ugh. Lancaster Gate, is that the Haggis band? I will do that. I do like bands that do like Flogging Molly and maybe this other band that their folk music is very like the British are terrible people. Guess what they did to our country? We got a bit of the cage here. This reminds me a lot of Space Police with the cages in Space Police. I'm doing that immediately after this. I'm going to go on Spotify and look it up. But that was another sort of musical awakening, was finding a friend of mine. I was like, I need some new music. Somebody give me some new music. And they're like, you should listen to Flogging Molly. Good morning, Matt. How are you? I was like, I will. And they're like, listen to it's not Raise the Flag. Raise what's left of the flag. And then another one of theirs. It's probably Drunken Lullabies, but I was like, okay, cool. And I was like blown. Yeah, but Raise the Flag. What's left of the flag was mine. But it was off Drunken Lullabies, so I had to get the album to get it. So I heard that, and then Fratelli's right at the time, they had a song that wasn't even their title track off of Costello Music, was in an iTunes commercial with the people all white silhouette with the iPods dancing around. And it was Henrietta, which never got like a ton of radio play, but that was the song. I was like, that's so weird. And it was great. And then another friend at the same time was like, have you heard of any Go-Go Bordello? And I was like, what? So like all at once I got like Irish folk punk, Scottish pub rock, and Romanian punk. And I was like, okay, my world's sufficiently bloomed now. Oh, and I started listening to The Who. HU, that Mongolian punk band. I was like, yep, these guys are awesome too. There's another Mongolian band that did like punk and throat singing and stuff. I'm trying to remember their name, but they do this. I'm gonna have to look it up. They have a drinking song that's fantastic. So some cool new little pieces here. Those little horns in magenta. That's pretty cool. Matt, are you ready for our meeting next week? Or no, not even next week. I guess in 2 weeks. Have you built your doors? Your doorway mock? I have an idea of what I want to build. I have 2 ideas, and I'm hoping one of them pans out better than the other one. Because I have to start like soon. How about you, Missy? You got anything yet? I'm really happy that's a printed piece. That's really cool. And are either of you going? I don't know if either of you got Mars-based stuff. Are you going to go to the sorting party this coming Saturday? This is very much Weather Channel music. And now the forecast in your area. Weather on the 8s. Neat. Sort while listening to Flogging Molly. I can't read that. What does that say? Who, Haggis, Weird Al. Nice. I don't have any Mars-based stuff, but I still might go to Sword Party. Cool. We would appreciate the help. It is definitely a an event. So all the help we can get is definitely needed. Because I don't even think half the people who are going to who have ordered pieces are going to be there. So, or ordered sets. So we'll just have to. The more people we get, the better. Oh, nice. That'll be cool. She's very nice. We hang out and talk while you're off shopping during AFOL days. I don't know if I have any of those barbs in that sort of lime pastel green color, but that's nice too. This is going to be a good set because this one's definitely coming apart again. I still have the rabbit, but I need to take that apart. Yeah, and we've got the bigger teeth too. So I don't think they glow in the dark, but get them under some black light, and I'm sure they'd look great. Then we've got these, the rubberized kind of barb fang claw things in that color, and then some trans purple wings. So the other thing I was really into from when I was a kid is also like classic rock. So big fan of like REO Speedwagon and Boston and Chicago. Journey. Journey's not really classic rock, but it has that classic rock sensibility. It's 80s pop rock, power ballads. Got about 1,000 of those tees white from the POB Wall, so know what to do with them. They would be good. You could probably turn them into something like if you were doing these big teeth like that, or these, the green or the purple. I remember being in middle school, maybe it was high school, and my mom was dating this guy, and he wasn't like the most awesome guy, but he was fine. But he was a huge Boston fan, and so I was listening to something. He's like, "Have you ever listened to Boston?" I'm like, "No," and he turned me on to that, and I was like, "Oh, this is the most amazing music ever." So ever since then, I was like, big Boston fan. The greenish one. So you could, if you're doing a water feature, you could do snot bricks. Let's see if I still have a snot brick out here. Like if you had like the big rows of like the 1x4s of these and like do like this, or even like the 1x1s and stagger them so they look like waves, like the white caps on waves, and just like run a whole lot of them along. That'd be a use. I'm trying to think of what else you could do with a lot of these. These would be good for flowers. You could do a floral thing with them. A lot of petals or stamen inside stuff. Might be interesting. We're definitely into, this is the intro to a sitcom music now. But like an off-brand sitcom, or like Beth watches 90210, but they don't have the rights to the music. New menorah. You got the candles.
Sorry, go ahead.
Where are you going to put that?
It's technically supposed to be in a window.
I know. Is it supposed to be in a front window or just a window?
I know, but we don't have room up there. But
We can put room. You can walk up to that corner.
and I bought a little table runner too for the catch the
The
wax.
window's only about that wide.
We'll figure it out. We have time. Anyway, sorry. I just want to show you the pretty menorah.
We can put a little table. I have a little table. We could put it in this window.
Okay.
And put the table right there. That way, too, if you leave it in here, it's only the cat that may knock it over, not the dogs.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's only the cat will set the place on fire.
Well, the cat would set the place on fire even if we didn't have a lit flame. I think he's smart and evil enough to, like, go find matches on his own.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
You're fine. Don't even remember what we were talking about.
I do.
What?
About how I watched 90210 and they don't have the rights to the music and it's really annoying because they have generic.
So it sounds like this, though. Like adult jazz. Yeah. So I'm sitting there and she's watching the show and I'm like, "Are you watching the Weather Channel?" She's like, "No, it's 90210, but they don't have the rights to the music. So they have to cover it up with adult jazz." Which I like how adult slow jazz is its own sort of not real jazz category.
To be fair, some of that is the original music. Because remember, it was a 90s soap opera. So.
Yeah, it is very soap opera-y too. I forget how soap opera-y it was. To be fair, I'm watching Voyager and DS9. Those are just soap operas on a space station.
Can I tell an interesting fact? I don't know if your viewers will be interested in this or not, but I found it interesting.
Okay, hit me.
So-
I'm going to turn the mic so they can hear you.
90210 came about because Aaron Spelling initially wanted to do Degrassi Junior High, but in the U.S., and the Canadians wouldn't allow him to do that because they knew that Americans would ruin it. And
He
so,
wanted to do Degrassi, a U.S. version of it.
Yeah, he wanted to do a U.S.
An
version of
adaptation
Degrassi
or
Junior
just
High.
like Degrassi U.S.?
I don't know. I don't know exactly what it was going to be, but that's where the idea from 90210 came.
Got
But
it.
then he went like the opposite end and made it like, whereas Degrassi was like relatable, like he made it completely unrelatable.
Like
to
90210 is just a
teenagers.
bunch of rich people.
Kids,
Yeah. And we're like, we can't relate to those guys. They're rich.
Yeah. And anytime they do show a poor person, they're always like chain smoking.
Yeah, they're drinking or chain smoking.
Yeah.
Or they're wearing off-brand clothing.
Right.
I still think we should continue doing our podcast,
I know.
but we let it lapse and I don't have that site anymore.
Can I show you what else I bought? Sorry, I'm taking over.
Yeah, do you want to come in here and stream with me? Do you want to
No,
build something?
Have you looked at me?
Have you looked at me? I'm wearing the same clothes I wore yesterday.
I got Hanukkah gnomes.
Hanukkah gnomes. He's such a mensch. Is this so we can do mensch on a bench?
I just saw them and I thought they were cute. I figured this would be a good way to spend my money, my hard-earned cash.
Hanukkah gnomes.
I don't know why.
Those are cute. Your hard-earned money. What'd you get this week? Hanukkah gnomes. Oh, hey, check it out. Come here. Speaking of hard-earned money. Is Galileo.
Really nice.
He's got a little horary on his desk.
Did you ever do Central Perk?
Did I ever do Central Perk?
Don't they have a Central Perk Lego set from Friends? I was gonna say I thought you did. Aw, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Is Chandler in there?
Yeah, do you want me to throw him out?
No.
Yeah, Gunther's in there
Gunther's
too.
in there too.
He's also dead. Forever memorialized in Lego. I forget which one Matthew Perry is. I
was
think
gonna
it's
say-
this one.
I couldn't remember if you had done it yet. I was gonna say that would be a good one for you to do, but
I've already done
you've
it.
already done it. Ah! Oh no! Was that Matthew Perry?
Yeah, he's dead now.
Oh, too soon, Ben.
Perfectly soon, because didn't he just die?
Yes. Why too soon?
I'm such a... Everyone's like, get on stream.
No, I literally just woke up.
Yeah, she just woke up. She looks rough. She also took her vaccine yesterday, so is dragging a little bit. So
I just like to creep around
she likes...
the outside and cause chaos.
Yeah, she's a chaos goblin line cook.
I like to derail the conversation from Lego to 90s teen dramas.
I swear to God, we need to do a podcast where you just talk about that. 90s teen dramas. Someday Logan will see the Seinfeld set built on my channel.
Idea for a Deep Space 90210 where one episode would be about Deep Space Nine and one episode would be about Beverly Hills 90210.
Well, we were going to do that, or Degrassi Deep Space Nine,
Yeah.
because it was Degrassi Next Generation, and I was like, we should then do Degrassi Voyager, Degrassi Enterprise.
Degrassi Lower Decks.
Mm-hmm. I would 100%. You would actually like Lower Decks, I think.
It's very Futurama-ish.
Yeah, very Futurama-ish. You would also like... I don't know why you're not watching Loki. Because it's new. I don't want to do new. So, Beth, if you didn't know, about 2 years ago, I think we stopped about 2 years ago, maybe a year. Beth and I did a podcast where it was going to start with us doing... We would start by doing a season of a show called Ready or Not, which was another... It was like a tween drama. It was a Canadian tween drama. It was like pre-Degrassi. Like these were...
It wasn't pre-Degrassi, it was after Degrassi.
I mean, like the kids were really young.
Yeah.
So, but like not a lot of people knew it and not a lot of people were covering it. So she's like, I remember this show. I was like, we should do a podcast where we'll watch an episode of that and then an episode of Letterkenny. Because I wouldn't watch Ready or Not by myself and she wouldn't watch Letterkenny by herself. So I was like, what we do is we trade episodes. And then it was, why don't we trade seasons? And that's when I should have known that that was not going to go well for me. But we would talk, we do an episode recap, and then we talk about it. And it was fun, but we stopped at the end of season 1, and then we kind of we appeared on not a rival, but a contemporary podcast that was actually doing the same show. But they were a little ahead of us, and I think they had a little more production value. And there was also some drama over like this fan group on Facebook that was trying to get us taken down and them taken down because they were friends of one of the stars of the show, and they were like, "How dare you badmouth us?" and all this. Like it was just crazy. Literally, I think they were an unstable person. So after a while, we're like, why don't we take a break? We did season 1. Let's take a break before season 2. And then when season 2 starts, I want to get like, instead of like watch it, edit it, publish it. And then next week, watch, edit, publish, and do like week to week. I was like, we should get a couple episodes in the can so we can have like this rotating window where if we need a week off, we've got padding, right? And then we just never got back into it. So, and I was like, I never got my Letterkenny watch with you. I picked up that Friends set. It was all dusty. And now I'm all sneezy. Do you have the Lego set or the Friends set, Johnny? What seems to happen a lot these days? The sneezing? Or we started something and didn't finish it? And yeah, the question is, do you have the Friends set, like a backlog? You just haven't done it yet. I'm glad I'm not the only one using that piece for claws. I like to spread them out a little bit. How this is kind of creepy. It's got kind of a creepy angle to it. Well, and the thing is, she'd already seen Ready or Not. And I hadn't. So that was the thing, is like I was going into it anew. And the two main characters were two girls. So it was like absolutely not a show that I would watch, right? So I thought it'd be a fun thing to do. Cool pieces for the shoulder blades, shoulder pads. I'm really hoping y'all are able to find or get HBO enough to watch that Scavenger's Reign. They just dropped 3 more episodes, and God, it's so good. It's just so weird. New episode of Loki came out. New episode of Lower Decks was out. Some good stuff there. Getting kind of creepy there. Probably going to finish this before the hour is up too. Might be all right. Stopping a little early so I can go start some yard work. The problem with yard work or with Halloween decorations in Texas or in the South, southern areas, is that your grass doesn't know that it's time to stop growing. Because it's still warmish and it can rain still. So what happens is it rains, and then those sprouts of grass, the purple topped grass seed sprout things, wild grass, shoot up. And it's not even like your lawn that needs mowing. It's just those sprouts of like actual grass, not manufactured lawn grass. But they're 2-3 feet tall. And if you don't mow them, it looks terrible. So when I've got lawn full of decorations, I can't really mow. So I'm going around there with my weed whacker, just trying to cut it down a little bit. So yesterday I was like, cool, I can mow after I take the decorations down. But then I got my shots and I was like, I am not going to do that today. I'm going to go pass out because this is terrible. Although I'm not feeling great at the moment. Creepy, spooky head. Even if you just leave it like this and have this head floating around. Nap roulette. That's the thing. Like, I will, with naps, since Beth's narcoleptic, she can nap whenever. She doesn't really get good sleep, but she can fall asleep kind of wherever, and she's always tired. Whereas me, I get like 5 hours of sleep a night and I'm fine, but I'll be sitting on the couch watching TV and I just old man fall asleep. And I'll be like, oh, I'm tired. I'm going to go lay down in bed. But then as soon as I get up and go lay down in bed, I'm wide awake. I'm like, well, that sucks. So I have not set an alarm unless we're going out of town and I need to wake up at like 3 a.m. to catch a flight or something. I have not set an alarm since the pandemic started. I work from home. I wake up at 7 o'clock, 6:30 every day. I just don't set an alarm anymore. It's been great because I don't get like jarred awake anymore. I just kind of let the dogs wake me up when they need to go out, which is daylight. So it's been really nice. There's been times when Beth sets an alarm because she has to get up and go to work, and if I let her, she'll sleep till 11. Or if she lets herself, she'll sleep till 11. But I haven't. Oh, neat. These have little weird eyes on them. Little cat eyes, lizard eyes. So that's cool. When I was setting an alarm, I would try to randomly set it. So that I don't know how much sleep I would get. So if I needed to get up by 6:30, I would set my alarm for like 6:17, 6:32, something like that, where it was a random time. So my brain couldn't do sleep math because that would keep me awake. If I go to sleep now, I'll get exactly 5 hours of sleep. But if I set it like I went like this on my alarm thing and I kind of went up and I let go of it. I'm like, that may be 6-ish. So I'd be up. I just didn't know exactly when it would come up. Kind of similar, I guess. Not exactly, but similar. Oh, he's carrying that. Well, all right. This dude is done. Got some extra pieces there. Got a nice eyeball. The rest of them are fine. Whatever. I think setting alarms is terrible for you. It's terrible for your body. This guy's supposed to go in here. Does he have a dual face? I didn't see. Oh yeah, he does. So he's asleep. Put him in sleep mode. And put him in here. Bloop. We've captured him in his sleep. This guy's kind of posable. His arms don't bend a whole lot, but pretty posable. Pretty scary looking dude, honestly, if I'm being honest. And this last little bit's going to be this thing where you're like, well, which one do you want to make? So here's your animation. He caught this person, and now this guy's going to go rescue him. This guy's the main character of the show, as far as I can tell. He's in a lot of the sets. I don't know his name. He's got one glowing eye. His name's like Baxter, or I thought it was like Rowan or something. I think Rowan was the Freemakers. I don't know what this guy's name is. Comes with a little bat belt, but in green. He's got his one eye is funky, and he's got that streak of hair. I don't think he's got dual face. He does, and he's very happy on the other one. But this one is a serious face. He's going to start some stuff. And this must be, the time thing must be the, like, important, because we get a lot of these in a lot of the sets. And I must remember how this is put together, because this is a good staff bit that I can make for Horizon people. Orange lightsaber hilt. That's interesting. Hadn't seen that before. All right, so he's gonna save some people with his dream stick. I don't know what this is. Right, so let's just do the first one. It's right here. But you can do either of these configurations by the look of it. And it'll tell you to go to that one or that one. So we're just going to do the first one because it's right there. That's going to be an extra piece. Nose is running. Stud shooters. I don't even know why I put these together. Don't like them. Never going to use them. Been a while since I've seen a solid green, trans neon green color like that. All right, so we're about done with this. So I will start the closing ceremonies. I don't think anything major is going on this week, so we should be able to get the gang back together Thursday. We'll figure out something to do fun for Thursday, studio-wise maybe. And if everybody's still in for it, I know Johnny was out last week. I know Vab's been out a lot. I know Kodiak had some work come up. And, but I think we can do some fun things. Don't know what yet. I do like kind of like the random pick, do a thing. These pieces, man. Nice. So we'll come up with something. I'm sure it'll be fun. This dude has a name, and I don't know what it is. He's this little slime mold thing. Zoob. Starts with a Z. Some Lego stores have made giant molds, giant models of him with nothing but trans green brick, which means hopefully there's going to be a lot of trans green, like 2x6 trans green, blobby. Yeah, it's Zubul, Zanzibar. So I think was he holding? Yeah, okay, I forgot. So there's a the time thing that he's also holding, which is a great piece. This hourglass is a really neat piece. It looks great. It's got weird sides on it that you can't hold on to, so you have to hold it underneath, and then it's got the hourglass tile on the top of it. So you get an extra tile, a bunch of extra of these plates to shoot. This is going to be probably for the other version, but then you get one of these lightsaber hilts. So that's pretty cool for extras. Those are all not going to be in this build, so those are considered extra. And he's going to sit in his seat and fly away. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Blap, blap, blap. And I think this piece is on the back so he doesn't fall backwards. But there you go. Got a little control panel there. It's actually a pretty nice control panel in there. So there you go. All right, so it's about 15 minutes early, but I think we're okay to kind of stop for the day. I do have the van to work on. So next time we build, I can probably build one of these sets. I got the turtle van, and I've got Obi-Wan's starfighter. So I can add these to the backlog. Still have a bunch of other sets to do backlogs for if we wanted. Doesn't have to be these guys, but they are available. Okay, well, you guys have a great rest of your Sunday. I hope you have a good day and stay safe. Have fun. Have a good week. And yeah, we'll figure out something to do on Thursday. And if the gang can't get back together, I'll probably end up doing, I don't know what. Maybe I'll drag some pieces over here and do some landscape building. We'll have to see how it goes. But hopefully Bricklink will be back by then. Everybody keep an eye on Bricklink. When it comes back up, make sure to go in and change your password. There's concerns that because of the hacking, accounts were compromised. So even if you don't have a store, you have an account that could have been compromised. So make sure to go in and change your passwords. Yeah, we'll see when it comes back up. So, all right, y'all, have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.